Study, reflect, and listen to the Lord. Let Him direct your steps. That's how you treasure each day. So, Mike, in your opinion, what can the average American citizen like me or Wes or Lewis do to protect our basic freedoms and rights? Because I honestly feel like we're losing them.
We are.
We are. And that scares me.
And Americans as a whole, and I've watched this for many years, they don't pay attention what they're voting for or who they're voting for. They see a name, they check it off, and they don't pay attention.
So how do we find out? Because we can't trust some of our sources out there. How do you find the truth? And I don't know if you know that. I don't know.
It's a lot of research. Let's take your hat, for instance, the NRA. There'll be a bill out there for abortions, and they'll tag 80 or 90 different things on that one bill. And the 80 or 90 things that are tagged on it have zero to do with the abortion. And that's how they're getting things passed. They're taking our rights away.
Here and there because somebody liked a piece of that bill.
Right, they're not reading
compromising.
The whole thing. They're not reading the whole thing. The best thing we can do is find somebody that's running for office in your home state that is going to protect that state. The people that have been in Congress, and I hope I don't get in trouble for this one, the people that have been in Congress more than 15 years need to get the heck out of Congress. They lose track of what's right for their people. And if they're from Missouri, they're for Missouri. If they're from California, they're for California. They're doing what's right for their state. After about 10 or 15 years, they start doing what's right for them. They see the dollar signs, they see the easy living, and they forget about the people that got them there. So if they want to protect what is slowly going away, it's time to change the Republicans. It's time to change the Democrats. It's time to change who we vote for and what we vote for.
And we need to communicate to them, don't we? What we want, what we expect.
I think in order for us to be able to communicate to our leaders, it's going to take a whole lot of change. And the only way to get that change is to get new people in there that will have a heart that actually thinks about what they're voting for and how they're voting. As a whole, as a nation, I don't think we care.
Become pretty comfortable and complacent, haven't we?
You know,
we just seem fine. And I didn't mean to get off on this topic, so we may edit this out later.
No.
But the stimulus money kind of scares me. I feel like it's chicken feed for the chickens to fatten them up before they get slaughtered.
Yep.
I really do.
Yep.
I don't know what's right. I understand there are people out there that legitimately need some help, but I just don't think the government's going about it the right way.
I don't either. But where we're standing right now, there's nothing we can do.
Right.
Um,
that scares me more than anything. The reality that we really don't have much say or control.
Right.
Like we feel like we should.
If they change the Bill of Rights anymore and they start taking our amendments away from us, we're losing what this nation was thought to be. Our forefathers had a grand plan for this nation, and we are slowly killing it because we refuse to change it.
Lazy and apathetic.
Yeah.
And a lot of us are. I think that we just don't want to. Is it worth the fight? Is it worth the hassle? Well, you're not the only one, but you are one of many soldiers who have fought for our country. And that's why we wanted to have this special today about armed services. I didn't even know what it was. I taught history. I was a school teacher. I've been a principal. I should know what Armed Forces Day was. I had to look it up on Google. Okay, I'm embarrassed to admit that. But that tells me I'm a pretty decent citizen. I vote, I obey the laws. I try to do these things, right? And yet if I'm an average citizen and I don't know, I'm for sure not given the proper due respect and time and consideration to all those people that have made sure that I am able to live in this free country like I am.
It's something that, as a nation, we need to wake up to, because our kids, the leaders of tomorrow,
right?
They don't have a clue.
They play Fortnite all day in their rooms.
Well, it's not just Fortnite. It's easier to leave your kids playing Fortnite and get your work done at home than it is to sit down at the table as a family and talk.
Right.
That has went away.
Right.
And
well, I know the TV's the babysitter for a lot of parents.
It has been since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just getting worse.
Right.
We need to start paying attention on what we're voting for, what we're not voting for, if we have something we want to accomplish, it starts right here in our hometowns. People don't even go to town meetings anymore.
Right.
To find out what their city is voting on.
Right. Or school board meetings.
Right.
The only time when I served on the school board that there were people that showed up is because they were upset about a certain issue. And that was it. As soon as that issue was over, they were done. They didn't stay for the rest of the meeting.
Right.
To have any input or to educate themselves and to find out what was going on.
They're leaving it to a select few, and sometimes that select few shouldn't have been selected.
Exactly. Just because they know how to talk the talk, I think you've really got to watch and what people's actions speak so much louder than their words.
Well, let's take Vandalia, for instance. They're making laws, and 80% of the people in the town don't agree with the law. Change it. If we can't change the laws of our town to where we can live here, then we need to get together, we need to do the petitioning, we need to do the research, we need to do the dot your T's dot your I's and cross your T's and get it into City Hall to where the people don't like this.
Right.
Get it changed and make your town hometown again, not, well, we'll go see what this town is like and just move away.
Right. That's a really good point. There is a good process in place
There,
for us to follow if we will just make the effort and do it.
that's the problem. People don't want to take the effort. It's easier just to say, well, I'll move, or, well, it's not that big a deal yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Right.
sometimes it gets to be a big deal.
Yeah. Well, and if we keep on compromising and letting these little issues go, they become big issues.
Right.
Well, if you value this tremendous blessing that we have in these 50 states, then please check your sources and don't just blindly follow everything that you're being told. Greed can lead a lot of people down the wrong path when they're promised fame and fortune. So folks, I encourage you to do what Mike said today, and I didn't even know he was going to say that, but our notes just happened to kind of coincide, and he's just talking off the cuff. He doesn't even have any notes, so that's how good he is. But no, seriously though, we have a problem in America, and it's not going away. So we are here talking to you today. We hope you will talk to others. Think about what is your priority, and what do you value, and is it willing to fight for? Mike, thank you. Thank you for fighting for us. Thank you for being willing to talk to us about it. I hope that people at home will just take something that you heard today and live your life purposefully to try to accomplish. You either overcome a fear, something that you're afraid of, go out and do it. Conquer it so that it's not going to hold you back or not going to keep you down. Because that's what fear is. Fear is an inhibitor, and so we can overcome if we face those challenges. Well, the first official Armed Forces Day, I did some research, was established on May 20th, 1950, and it was titled Themed for Defense. They flew B-36 bombers over capital cities. Over 10,000 veterans marched in Washington, D.C., and about 33,000 people were marched in the parade in New York City. What do we have going on at our Armed Forces Day in 2020? I don't know. Okay, if we take out the whole because we can't, maybe that could be used as an excuse. What about last year in 2019? What did we do?
There's not much anymore.
It's not, and that's pathetic. And I'm guilty, just like the rest of you. So, all right. If you don't know what Armed Forces Day is either, I want you to know, I looked this up. The United States set aside the third Saturday of May to pay tribute to the men and women who served in the 6 branches of the U.S. military. Can you name them? Armed Forces, Army, Coast Guard, Marine Corps, Navy, and there's been a newly created one called the Space Force. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you did. I did not know that. But of course, they also include the National Guard and the reserves.
Well, the National Guards are tied into the different branches. You got the Army National Guard, you got the Marine National Guard.
Oh, see, I didn't
they're all-
realize that.
they're
Each
all part of
one.
the
There's not
branch.
just one National Guard.
No, there's not.
I did not know that. Okay. Thank you. Google did explain that.
Of course not.
So why do we celebrate? I'm going to quote here from President John F. Kennedy, who spoke in 1963. Our servicemen and women are serving throughout the world as guardians of peace. Many of them away from their homes, their friends, and their families. They are visible evidence of our determination to meet any threat to the peace with measured strength and high resolve. They are also evidence of a harsh but inescapable truth, that the survival of freedom requires great cost and commitment and great personal sacrifice. And to that end, I thank you for watching, and I want you to reach out to some soldiers, some military people that you know, that are your friends and family, neighbors, and just encourage them, please. We have no idea the heartache and what they've gone through for us. God bless. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay tuned for more from Nation Station.